Let me get comfortable. I'm a bit nervous because this is the first time I'm doing an interview, but just myself. Welcome back. Today I will be doing the Ask Me Anything video. I asked you guys on my Instagram story to ask me any questions you'd like to know more about me or anything in general. So I kind of skimmed through some of the questions previously, and I was like, wow, there's so many questions you guys asked. But today I'm only gonna choose 17 questions to answer because I don't want this video to be too long and I don't want to bore you guys out. Question number 1. How much sleep do I get every night? I aim to get 9 hours of sleep each night. However, it depends whether I'm more tired. Sometimes I can sleep for 10, sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 8. Most of the time, it varies from 8 to 9 hours. Question number 2. What are my plans after the circuit breaker ends? The number one thing on my agenda right after circuit breaker ends is to still stay at home. We are going to phase 1 and I'm still not allowed to go to the shooting range. If you're trying to say what do I do after this whole thing ends, is to go to the shooting range to train and shoot some shots. Question number 3. What's your favorite Singapore food, or what do I miss eating when I'm overseas? I don't have a particular favorite Singaporean food because all the food in Singapore is so good. If I have to choose, I'll just think of when I step into a hawker center. I will look out for Hokkien Mee. For a snack, I would love to get popiah. When I'm overseas, I miss eating Asian food in general because I'm not a fan of Western food, no offense, but I like rice, noodles. Question number 4. What's the silver lining for me during the circuit breaker? I guess reevaluating my goals for the next year now that some of them have been disrupted due to the pandemic. And another thing would be spending time with my family. Because of my constant traveling for the sport, I am barely home. This is a great time for me to spend with them. Question number 5. What happened to Sparkling Raindrops? Sparkling Raindrops has evolved into a proper username because I felt like it was time for me to just become more professional after 7 years. And no, I did not kidnap her, she's still the same person. Question number 6. Who's your best friend? Secret. Question number 7. Out of all the cities you have been to, which would you recommend as a must-go and why? I can't judge them all the same because when I travel for shooting competitions, I cannot travel as though I'm on a holiday because I am there for a competition and I'm not there to play. So we'll just choose from my own experience when I go on vacations. And number 1 would be Bali. I've been to Bali a few times. It used to be my go-to vacation when I was younger before I got competitive in the sport. I went to Bali I think when I was 11 for 1 month. I traveled around the whole island. Do you call it island? Yeah, I traveled around the whole island for 1 month with my family. Really liked the place because they are so rich in culture. Food is good. Another thing is it has beaches and it's near to home, so it's not too bad for me. It's only about 3 hours. This is 3 hours. A 3-hour flight from Singapore. As I travel more for competitions, I appreciate countries that is closer to home. So when a trip is still in Asia, about 8-hour flight, I'm like, okay, that's considered quite short already. Bali is one of them. Question number 8. Which country's cuisine do you miss the most when you're in Singapore? I don't have any particular cuisine that I miss the most when I'm here because I have all the good food in Singapore, so I don't really need to, I don't crave for something overseas. But if there's one dish that I will only find when I'm overseas, will be apple strudel in Germany. I can't find any authentic ones here in Singapore, and if anyone knows of any authentic Apfelstrudel, please let me know because I would love to try them. Question number 9. Where you get your recipes from, chef? I get them from the internet. I type them into Google and also YouTube, and I just see which looks most appealing and has very good reviews. Question number 10. How are you coping during quarantine? I'm coping by doing some home-based training, doing some sleeping and eating, and watching dramas. In the beginning of the circuit breaker, it was a little bit chaotic for me because I'm not used to staying at home for so long. I have 3 younger siblings and it can get quite chaotic. Now, this is the 7th week. 7th? Wait, let me see. I started on 7th April. Okay, we're in the 8th week of circuit breaker. I feel like this is the new norm for me right now. Question 11. Why are you so cool? Question 12. Front sight aperture size of air rifle. Question mark, question mark, question mark. So this sounds very technical. It's a very technical question. I'm not too entirely sure of my front sight aperture size for my air rifle because I used this gun, oh, it's been a year already. Yeah, about 1 year. When I used the front sight, it was not something that I chose, and it was just there. If I'm not wrong, it is 3.8 or 3.9. I will have to go and check when I see my gun again. I know what my aperture size is for my previous air rifle. It's a 3.8 because the front sight I had previously was the kind where you're able to adjust the thickness and the distance of the ring to the target. You know that thing, the thickness of the ring, yeah. So for those who don't know what's a front sight, I have a picture. Let me show you. This is me shooting. Let me see. Oh, cannot see. Yeah, so that's me shooting. The front sight is that thingy there. Yeah, it aligns with the rear sight, so you're able to fire the shot. Okay, starting from here onwards, it is gonna be more towards my shooting. Question 13. I saw 2 similar questions. I decided to combine those 2 and answer it in this question. How long training without COVID? How long always practice? For small ball events, I train about 5 hours, and for air rifle events, I train about 3 hours depending on what's happening for that week. Question 14. How often do I train? Shooting, mental, physical, running, yoga, and strength. There was another question that was quite similar, so I will combine it as well. Usually how your training week goes. By the way, hope you're fine. I'm fine. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you are fine back home too. I'll just explain how my normal training week goes, which means I don't have any competitions and I'm not traveling. I train 6 days a week and can go up to double sessions. I have my technical trainings on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays. Monday is declared as a rest day because the National Shooting Centre is closed and the indoor shooting range at Yishun Safra is only half day, so we kind of just declare it as an off day. So in Singapore, we don't have an integrated shooting range. We have to travel from one place to another for small ball practice and air rifle training. I reach the small ball shooting range at 9:30 and then I start at 10. I end around 2:30 to 3 o'clock. We don't have a lunch hour or lunch break because we are in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to get proper lunch. Plus, we don't want to disrupt our training, so we do have snacks in between. Once we finish at 2:30 to 3, we travel to the indoor shooting range, which is about a 20 to 25 minute drive to Yishun. and then we have our lunch. After lunch, we wait our food to digest for about an hour or so because we don't want to feel sick. We start around 5, train for another 3 hours, and then we call it a day. Yeah, so that's what happens for double practice. My physical training days will be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays, it's on our own. Wednesdays is a cardio day for me. Late last year, I had some foot issues from training, so I kind of laid off running, so I did cycling and swimming instead. Fridays are our gym days with our trainer, so we do it as a team. Oh, Saturdays are double training. Sundays are half days because it's a Sunday. Oh, one more thing. Yoga. We have our flow session. I do them on Mondays now with the team. Question number 15. What has been the biggest challenge for you during this circuit breaker? I guess the biggest challenge for me right now is not being able to train at the shooting range. There are a lot of challenges, but I guess that's my biggest challenge at the moment. Oh, it's golden hour right now. Question 16. What's the dream? My dream is to compete in as many Olympic Games as possible. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. As long as you put your heart and your mind into it, anything you want is possible. I just feel like this is a motivational talk right now. So one final question. Question number 17. What do you do for your mental health? When I do feel down or troubled, I will speak to someone about it. I will open up to someone if I feel like it. Some days I just wanna not talk to anybody. This is not something I will openly tell everyone. I'm not one to be very open about my feelings because there were battles and struggles along the way. There were times where I didn't know how to handle situations or felt like I was lonely because I was progressing faster than my peers, and this put me in a different pathway. With the achievements I had at a young age, because I'm still young, I'm not even 21, I had to manage my expectations, and it was not easy. I feel like as athletes, we tend to judge our self-worth based on our achievements. When I was younger, what I wished that someone would tell me was that it is okay to fail. I gained a lot of experiences, and I'm super thankful for them because they are what made me who I am today. If you do feel troubled, do speak to someone, anybody, be it your close friend, family, or anyone else in general that makes you feel safe, because it is not good to bottle them up. I have a tendency of doing that. You should still share because it will make you feel so much better. Trust me when I say it, because sometimes I don't feel like telling anyone my problems because I don't want to burden them or be such a nuisance. But that's not true, okay? If you are troubled, go tell someone about it. They will understand. And with that, I have ended my Ask Me Anything video. I hope you've learned more about me, more about my sport, and hope to see you next time. Bye!